Jury selection is now underway in the trial of the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd.
His death sparked protests nationwide and calls for police reform. CBS's Michael George live in Minneapolis tonight with the story. Michael.
Well, Maurice, Christine, the prosecution and defense have a very difficult task ahead, which is finding a group of jurors who haven't already made up their minds about the George Floyd case. That said, today they were able to select 2 jurors.
All right, let's do our next juror, please.
A Minneapolis court moved forward with seating jurors in Derek Chauvin's murder trial as attorneys raised concerns about some candidates already having knowledge of the case.
We are humans, you know, and he said, hey, I can breathe. He was on top on him.
Hennepin County District Judge Peter Cahill allowed several jurors to be struck, including one with martial arts experience.
Yes, for the record, the defense has made its preparatory challenge now, and it's the second person of color in the jury pool.
His statements that he would be willing to re-examine the evidence struck me as insincere.
Chauvin, a former Minneapolis police officer, stands accused of second-degree murder and manslaughter after he was seen pressing his knee on George Floyd's neck for about 9 minutes last May. And it's still unclear whether a third-degree murder charge will be added.
Selection of the 14 jurors in the case could take at least 3 weeks. In the meantime, authorities here in Minneapolis have barricaded the courthouse and other parts of the city, fearing protests against police brutality.
Marcia Howard is a teacher and retired Marine.
We have always been disenfranchised, over-policed, over-criminalized, over-promised, and under-delivered.
The defense is expected to argue Floyd died of a drug overdose rather than from the officer's knee on his neck. If convicted, Chauvin faces up to 40 years in prison.
And you can see behind me, surrounding the courthouse, that fencing, the barbed wire, the National Guard as well throughout the trial. And it's important to note that several prospective jurors have expressed fear that if they were chosen, they could potentially be the targets of violence because of the intense attention being paid to this case. Maurice, Christine, back to you.
Okay, Michael, thank you.